Hi, I'm Beau Williams. This is my wife, Julie Williams. I run a small grain farm about 25 miles southwest of Jamestown, North Dakota. Pretty much do day-to-day. My wife teaches. Family helps out, and then I got one hired hand. I got diagnosed with kidney disease, renal failure back in December 17. Started doing the process and everything, and then ended up starting dialysis in April of 18, and then went in the process of finding a donor.
It's just kind of scary, I guess, when we first started going through it, when he was first diagnosed with this autoimmune disease. You know, they're like, oh, at some point you're probably going to need a transplant. Well, next thing you know, it's dialysis and you need a transplant now. So we initially went through the recipient piece of it to see if he'd make the donor list, and then he did. And one thing they had talked about is like trying to keep your numbers small when you're looking for donors. So we just were like really hoping that like it would be a family member, because they were telling us those were the best case scenarios. Unfortunately, we just didn't have anybody that would be able to step up and donate at that time. So I'm like, okay, I'll fill out. You know, I'm just thinking there's no way that this is gonna happen. And I filled it out and I got a phone call saying, oh, we'd like you to come down and do more testing.
And I lucked out. My wife was a match.
I had to tell him that I would be his donor, because that's how it works. They let the donor know that they qualify, and then the donor gets to tell the recipient. And I am like, okay, here's your last chance to back out if you want to back out, kind of thought. But he needed a kidney, and the risk to me is so minimal that it only made sense to go through with the surgery and give him my kidney.
Coming up to it, everybody was saying, get a hold of Farm Rescue. They can help you out and everything like that. And I'm not too big on asking for help. You know, you want to do it yourself. But I am grateful that I did. The online application took me, 5 minutes. There was no technicalities that popped up where it was hard to do or nothing like that. Sent my application in December or first part of January, and then like by the 15th or end of February, we had everything lined up. I already had the maps into them where everything was getting seeded, and it was just wait on the weather.
We didn't want to ask for the help until we absolutely needed it, because we knew that this transplant was coming. With being on dialysis, there were some pretty tough days, but he did struggle through and get it done. So we were pretty thankful that we waited.
They got in late Thursday night. You know, it was 8 o'clock at night when they got there. They filled up whatever, and they went out and started seeding. And I think they said they went till about midnight that night. There's 4 of them. They did their 2-man cruise or whatever all the day, and then we were leaving on that Friday like at noon, and I went back down there that morning and I talked to them one more time. They're just all grateful volunteers. You know, they volunteer at times, and it was nice meeting them. Within 3 days of when Farm Rescue came, I did my surgery, and we spent a month down in Rochester. They kept me informed as much as they could with texts and everything, and they had my wheat pretty much all in within 3-4 days. And then that took a load off of my mind, because then it just made the whole process more relaxing going into the surgery. They seeded exactly how I would have seeded it, and I'm like, they didn't leave no skips. They did a good job seeding.
It's really valuable to have an organization like that, because you never know when something's going to happen in your life, and knowing that there's somebody that you could possibly call for help if you can't do it. Because yeah, I mean, if somebody goes down and there's no help, your whole livelihood is gone. Couldn't have done it without them this year.
I greatly appreciate them coming and their time and what they've done, and I hope they can still keep on doing it for other people down the road. All I can say to the sponsors is keep doing what you're doing, and thank you. Anything helps, and us farmers or ranchers, we greatly appreciate it. Julie brought up, like, when you retire or whatever, you should do that. You would probably enjoy that. And I'm like, yeah, I probably would enjoy that. Bottom of my heart, I'll say just thank you. Appreciate it.